Hello, we are Group 9. This is our presentation. We are going to start with Chris, who will be talking about the web forms.
Right. I am Chris Barnett, and I'm going to be showing off the web forms we have created. I'm going to start off at the home page, not that admin form. So here we just have some basic CSS and HTML. Got the template from W3 Schools. Moving on to the login form, you can ignore this. So the judge login and the admin login are on the same page. To switch between them, you just click this button and it changes the action of the form. So it actually goes to two different pages. And for all the admin forms, you go to /admin. And from here, you can create a new administrator. You can enter the username and password and the administrator level. To enter a new booth, you'll only have to enter the new booth number, pretty much the same with the category and the county and the grade and the new grade level. But the judge, you have to enter the first name, middle name, last name, title. You choose a preferred grade level. You choose a preferred category. You enter highest degree, employer, email address, username, password, and the year. For a new project, you have to enter the project number, a title, an abstract. These are strings. Choose a grade level, choose a category, choose a booth number, choose a course network ID. I wasn't sure if that was going to be a string or a number, so I just made it a number, and a year. For a new school, you enter the school name, the school city, and then you select the county. For the new session, you enter a session number, a start time. These are actually time fields, but they accept any kind of text. And for the new student, you enter the new student name, first name, last name, middle name, grade, gender. You enter the school, or you select the school, and the project number. It actually drops down, or you can type it in, and the year. And none of these forms actually do anything. They're just forms. They don't have any actions really set up when they submit. And that is all the admin forms. Back going over to the judge forms. Judge check-in is just a present or not present. It's just a little checkbox. And judge scoring project, you again can select the project number, which will be populated from the database, and give it a score. And that is all of those. It is actually a responsive template, so that works. And on mobile, you can access all these. You have to scroll like that. This is just a temporary table. This is not what the CSS is actually going to look like. But yeah, everything works. And that is the forms.
Awesome, Chris. Sounds great. If I were a teacher, I'd be very impressed right now. All right, my name is Ryan Eads, and I will now be talking about starting what will be the rest of the presentation's topic, which is the database. Because there are 14 tables, we're going to divvy this up to allow our vocal cords to rest and allow others to talk about what they shared on the project. So let me go ahead and share for you the database we created. This database is accessible to all via the username Ryeades, that's R-Y-E-A-D-E-S, and the password is the same. We'll have that submitted with the project. So here is this database. It's loading. That's how powerful the database is. It takes a while to load. All right. So if you crawl the ER diagrams, it is not sharing. Here we go. All right. So here's the administrator table. got some awesome stuff. Great stuff. All the things that he mentioned in the forums are here. You got your username, your password, the level of administration. Are you active that year? As your email and all the other information that you'll need. Here is the booth. Got a booth ID, got a number, and whether or not it's active. Category, the category ID, the category name, the active value. Now, if you're paying attention closely, you'll notice that a lot of these have keys next to them. And we're going to hear more about that later in the presentation, so stay tuned. There's our county. Ooh. The grade. Don't need to go into too much detail. Hopefully, you all recall this from the project 2. The judge, very important. Yeah, their title and their education level, and their employer, and email, and username and password, and the year they were a judge. So that way we can store them for later. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Last one, before I hand it off. Judge category preference. Got the judge ID. Got the category ID. Wow, sounds good. That's all I've got to share. Now I'm going to pass it off to someone else to complete this thrilling discussion on the database. Abdul?
Yeah.
Go ahead, sir.
Oh,
Let
can
me
you
stop share. Excuse me.
turn off your screen? Oh.
Go ahead.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Abdul Asada, and today we'll talk about the next part of the tables. Do you see my screen, guys?
Yeah, I see it now. Looks great, Abdul.
Okay. Starting from the judge category preference, as you see here, the structures, we have the judge ID and judge category ID. And next up is the judge grade preference. We have the judge ID, the grade ID. Next is the project table. We have project ID, project number, and the title, abstract, grade level ID, category ID, booth ID, grade ID, course network ID, and average ranking, and the year. Next is project grade level. We have three categories, which is grade level ID and level name and active value. Next is the schedule ID, season ID, project ID, judge ID, and score. We have school table with a school ID, a school number, school city, and a county ID. And in the session ID, we have session ID, session number, and the start and the end time, and the active value. And the last table we have of the 14 table is the students table. Student table is, we have in it student ID, first name, middle name, last name, and grade ID, gender, school ID, and project ID, and the year. And that's all for the 14 table. And now we will move to the last part of the database, which is the relationships with the last member in the group. Okay.
Right. So my name is Tomoki Nakatsuji. I'm the last person, I'm the last member of this group 9. Let me just share my screen. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Looks great.
Nice. So by using the tables that Ryan Abdul made, you see, like as you know, each tables has like primary key and foreign keys. Then we need to know the relationship between the tables. So I made like relationship between the tables using designer part. All right. So first, like the tables that has primary keys, I made an indexes like our professor she did in class. I named like this from the primary key and no, from the tables that has foreign key and then to the tables that have primary key. So these are foreign keys. So I have two indexes in this table. Like this, I have two foreign keys in here. I have some foreign keys here and one primary key here. Like this, I made a relationship between this using this part like this. Let me see. As you can see, this relationship. Like you can see that lines which relationships between tables. That's what I did in this part, like presentation one. That's pretty much what I did in this presentation. So I can pass it, Ryan.
Sounds great. Wow. What a project. We've got tables, we've got forms, we've got relations between the two. Thank you all for watching. I hope you learned something. And that is the presentation from course group 9.